Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. Specifically another WrestleMania review. Now, you remember that Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule I was telling you about? I think last week I brought it up. Yeah, hasn't always been going the best so far. Today we're going to do all three of the WrestleMania reviews for the week. And next week, we're going to try to get back on track, especially because I'm actually off from work this week. So next week, I'll be back to work and everything, back to work at my job. So now we really gotta rein things in again and get things back on track. But hopefully this will be the match to do it. Now, when you think of huge stars during the Golden Era, or the Rock and Wrestling era, whichever you refer to it as, two that come to mind. Among several from that time period are Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. At this point in time where this WrestleMania takes place, his Hulkamania was running wild, but it ran wild for quite some time. And the Ultimate Warrior was especially rising up in the ranks. So, what would happen when Hulkamania would pass the baton to the Warrior Nation? And let's find out. I'm, of course, talking about Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, aka the Ultimate Challenge. Now, of course, as always, I am not a professional wrestling reviewer or analyst or anything like that, just a man who enjoys a good time. And I must say, I had a pretty good time watching this match. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of know how this works as I take some of my water here, but and big gun on the beard. There we go. That's the downsides of having a beard, is stuff gets stuck in there. But if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. But if you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. So starting with what I liked. Now, when people think back on this match and talk about this match, one of the things that gets brought up is that theoretically, it's a main event that shouldn't work, or given the limitations of both men, and it's a match that theoretically shouldn't work. Neither man was necessarily known for their technical prowess. They were known for being very big, very powerful, and very over with the fans. So a lot of people then write off this match, at least on paper, as a main event that shouldn't have worked, but it did. However, I am actually going to go against the grain here and actually disagree. And the reason I say that is because, kind of for the aforementioned reason, two of the biggest stars at the time, more specifically as I kind of mentioned in my opening spiel there, Hulk Hogan kind of passing the baton to the Ultimate Warrior. So because of that, why not have two of the biggest stars collide? It seemed almost like a no-brainer. Or like I said, at this point, Ultimate Warrior was especially on the rise, and Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania kind of ran its course by this time. So why not have them face off here? And theoretically, for this to be your main event, and you would want them to put on a good main event, that's what you'd want. So putting those here, it's a match that even on paper I'd argue should work, or it'd have to make a suitable main event. And I guess that sentence kind of opens up a discussion of WrestleMania main events that didn't quite live up to the hype, and even some that's in the wrong spot. I did a discussion video on the latter that got uploaded on technically yesterday, Thursday. So if you had already, go check out that video. But I do think a match like this could and should work on paper. And I think it definitely does for the most part, mainly because it plays to both men's strength, and one of their strengths being their strength. And both guys are powerhouses, and so having them clash like that, in kind of a clash of the titans, if you will, including having the multiple tests of strength, including some very infamous BJ, let's just say, looking spots. And when you go back and look at those like Wrestler Sus compilations that usually makes the round on that particular moment, especially with Hogan and Warrior, with Hogan getting the upper hand and Warrior down there. You get the idea. But having the test of strength, having both guys do their variation of the, I guess, Hulk up of Hogan with his, and then Warrior with his Warrior up, I guess. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. But having them with the dueling bits of that, at having him even slug it out at times, leading to a kind of a finish that's not a super surprise, but the way that they went about it, I think, was smart. Having Hogan miss the leg drop before Warrior nails the splash to the back, to Hogan's back, in order to pin and win. So, it's also worth mentioning, Hulk Hogan was the WWE champion, or WWF champion, and like, I know this period of time is the WWF, and so it's the WWF championship, but I do oftentimes slip up and say the WWE Championship, but hopefully you guys get my meaning and you know what I'm referring to, of course. But Hogan was the WWF champion going into this match. Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental champion going into this match. So it's title for title, and ultimately the Ultimate Warrior gets to raise both titles. And there is a moment of tension at the end. Is Hogan going to shake Warrior's hand? Is he going to turn heel on the Warrior? Or there are some people who say, hey, of all the moments to turn Hogan heel, this would have been a good spot right here, and I kind of agree. But Hogan ultimately kind of celebrates the Warrior, raises his hand and everything. So the baton had been passed to the Ultimate Warrior to be the next WWF champion, and kind of the next major thing in the company, which I guess played out to an extent, but yeah. So the match, like I said, play to both men's strengths and really showcase kind of the best of both men, which is theoretically what you want out of, well, really any match, but especially your main event, especially with both titles on the line, especially with a match that you've labeled as the Ultimate Challenge. You wanted to live up to that Ultimate Challenge hype. And even kind of though going into this, with Hogan and Warrior kind of being allies, but also kind of confronting each other and everything before leading up to the match. So having it pay off and play up in that regard, I think, very, very smart, and it leads to a very well done match and a very well done main event. Is this match a technical masterpiece? No. Is it even the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time? I wouldn't say that either. But it's definitely up there, and it definitely didn't need to be a technical masterpiece, especially with the crowd being so into it. The crowd was electric pretty much from the word go and throughout the match, especially as both of them got their offense in, and when the Ultimate Warrior ultimately picked up the win in the end. I'm saying ultimate a lot in this review. I'm not intending to, but it kind of is a combination, obviously, of my own verbiage plus obviously the Ultimate Warrior. But when the Ultimate Warrior does win the match, the fans do go electric. So they do hit the desired outcome in that regard. So because of that, had all the elements play together to make for a very fun and exciting main event match, and it's a match that's on the longer side, about 22 minutes, but it's a 22 minutes that doesn't feel super duper long, like 22 minutes. It's like, if it felt like a drag for 22 minutes, it's because there are matches that are X amount of time that certainly feel X amount of time, some that feel even longer than that, but this one definitely isn't one of them. Now, the rematch they would have at Halloween Havoc 1998, that one definitely was, but thankfully, at least thankfully for my sanity, maybe not thankfully for my sanity at the time, but thankfully for my sanity in the present day, I've already reviewed that one. If you haven't already, go check out that review. And And I guess now that I've finally seen this match in its entirety, I can confidently say that this match is way better than their rematch at Halloween Havoc, although I really didn't need to watch this match to come to that conclusion, but I definitely did. Now, in terms of what I didn't quite like as much about the match, I think way too heavy-handed on the rest holds and everything, and kind of the tests of strength, and like they do it a little too much to where it really brings things. There we go, to a screeching halt. In that regard. Obviously, it gives the wrestlers a chance to catch their breath. It gives the fans a chance to catch their breath, but way too much. And the fact that, yes, these two are still limited as to what they can do. So, some of that does come in through the match. Thankfully, like I said, it plays to both men's strengths, but it is still there and it is still present in the match. But otherwise, a really solid main event, so I definitely recommend checking it out if you're curious. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Excuse me. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. Oh, excuse me. Twice in a row. Wow. There we go. But also, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the match and my review of the match. Do you like this match? Did you like my review of this match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace. Alright, so one quick addendum I did want to add to this match, mainly to dogpile on the Halloween Havoc 1998 rematch. Apparently, the rumor has it now. How Eric Bischoff has denied this, so whether you choose to believe this or not is really up to you. But the rumor has it that Hulk Hogan and or I should say that the Ultimate Warrior, who I think when I did the review of that match at Bash of the Beach, not Bash of the Beach, my goodness, at Halloween Havoc 1998, I think I erroneously called him the Ultimate Warrior throughout. I think because in WCW he was just the Warrior, or trademark, or sure are a you know what, but the rumor has it that Ultimate Warrior was specifically brought in just to avenge Hogan's loss here. Now, like I said, Eric Bischoff has denied that being the case. Me personally, do I think that was probably the case? I don't know for sure. But at the same time, knowing Hulk Hogan, knowing his reputation and everything, and especially as a backstage politician, it definitely wouldn't surprise me. Would it be petty if that was the case? Yeah. Would it be annoying if that was the case? Yeah. Especially because, as to my knowledge, the Warrior, not the Ultimate Warrior, the Warrior, her didn't do much else, if anything, in WCW. After his feud with Hogan there. But I did want to bring that up, especially because and let me see here. So a Warrior, he made the debut at Fall Brawl in 1998 and accidentally broke British Bulldog's back in the process, almost paralyzing him. But at Fall Brawl, Halloween Havoc. Let's see. Nope, nothing else. So he was just there for Halloween Havoc. So, admittedly, the Warrior just being there for Halloween Havoc, and then not being with the company after that, definitely doesn't help WCW's case of only bringing Warrior in to ultimately get for Hogan to get his win back. Like I said, I obviously can't confirm or deny for sure, especially because I wasn't even born yet. But would it surprise me? It would not. But just figured I would bring that up because I don't think I brought it up when I did my review of their match at Halloween Havoc 98. But also to kind of give a little more context to that match, and I feel like reviewing this match and then having also reviewed that match. Obviously, I reviewed that match before I reviewed this match, but I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up. But now that addendum is over, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.